This is a massive milestone in my career. Not a lot of people get given this opportunity. I'm really honored and really thankful for the opportunity to be able to lead my country. And we see this as a massive game for us. We see every game as a massive game for us. It's Test rugby away from home against Argentina in front of their home crowd. So we know it's going to be tough. But yeah, I mean, we've done all the prep throughout the whole week. We've made our tidy ups for the last game. And I think we're prepared to go out there and just execute tomorrow.
Heinz?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Questions you got. Yeah, I think, Percy, once again, you can never prepare for a game against Argentina in Argentina and take it as a warm-up game. Mentally, I think we treating this game as a test match, more especially also when you're wearing a Springbok jersey, we don't take it lightly. So I wouldn't put it that way, that we approaching this game as a warm-up game. No, I think we're going full out as a test match, and like Bongi also mentioned, it's going to be a very, very tough game, So, and as a coaching team, it's always nice to build while you're winning. So that's why for us, yes, it will be nice to win the game, because as coaches, it will always put you at least in a nice pace, more especially while you're still winning. I know we were disappointed with the performance last week, where a lot of things didn't go our way, but once again, being able to win the game and pull it through, after a tough performance from Argentina, the way they played the game, I think they've executed a lot of things that probably that was part of their plan, to frustrate us in the game. But I think the key thing for us to this game, yes, we still want to improve on how we play the game. But once again, as a coach, it will be nice to build while you're still winning.
Heinz?
Hi, gents. Hope you're well. Thanks for your time. Coach Stocker, you guys have mentioned previously, how important this leadership group is that you guys have established and stuff. And I mean, it's obvious, that they play a role consistently throughout, their departments and stuff. I was just wondering, in a guy like Bongi's case, do you sometimes think that, even if it's just a one-off game, that the captaincy in a test match like this actually makes players like him, even better leaders, when it comes to a World Cup defense, even if they're not in that official capacity?
Yeah, I think regarding the call for us with Bongi this game, I think it was an easy call as a coaching staff, because once again, he's always been there as part of the leader in our group. And one thing about him, not only because of his just sitting here next to me, one thing about him, he doesn't just talk the talk. He's one of those guys that always lead by example on the field also, and he's always been vocal. And like you've mentioned now, it's not even a secret that we've got a strong leadership group, as you can see now. Even when Sia is not available for selection, you've got guys like Dwayne, a guy like Ieben, Lucanio, Damien, Terlinde. Bongi was always in that group, So I think it was an easy call for us. And once again, I think, like I said, he leads by example. So hopefully the boys can also make it special for him.
Ross?
Thanks, Zena. How's it, guys? Bongi, with you leading the team this weekend, do you want to bring something different from what you usually do? Is there something different, you think? Or do you think the only difference this weekend, since you are part of the leadership group, is that you're just going to be the man who's speaking to the ref most this weekend?
Yeah, I think, Ross, just as you said, I think the only difference is just me talking to the ref. Having a clear line of communication to the ref, and obviously keeping it very respectable, and trying to present our plan and our team as respectable as possible. And nothing different is going to come from our side. I still have a job to do as part of the team, as part of the forward pack. I think just be me leading the team the way that I always do, but obviously just clear communication to the ref and making sure that you're on his good side.
Stephen?
Thanks, Steve. Coach, can guys in this game play themselves in or out of the World Cup squad? Or is that just a little bit far-fetched, given that that process is one really that goes over years rather than a game? But is there a dynamic like that?
Steve, I wouldn't put it that way, I wouldn't like to put a pressure on our players, regarding to the performance of them being decided only on one game, you know. As a coaching staff, remember the selection of the squad towards the World Cup. It's something that we've been working on, most especially for the past 3 years, you know. And I wouldn't put it that way. Let's say, for example, if one guy maybe does have a bit of an off game, that it will determine his squad selection, you know. So I think we've been really working very hard, you know, and also to be fair to everyone, to rotate around the squad and give guys opportunity so that when we select that final squad, you know, at least majority of our players, they've got a fair chance. So I wouldn't put it that way. If a player doesn't really perform at his best for this game, the chances will be gone for him, you know. You can never select a World Cup squad in one game, you know. So I wouldn't put it that way, that if they don't perform, then they won't make it to a squad, you know. We know our players very well. We know how they work hard, and we know the value they add in our team. So yeah, but once again, hopefully everyone will get a good run, you know. And that's one thing that I enjoy, when the players are in a good space, you know, automatically it also makes the environment a good environment. So hopefully the guys can be able to perform well and be in a good space.
Mbonambi?
Thank you. Hi, guys, and congrats, Bongi, on the captaincy. My question is twofold. First of all, would a boy from Bethlehem have thought that he would one day captain a national side? You know, it's been a long road for you. And then just secondly, have you spoken at all to Sia this week? Got some advice from him going into this game?
Yeah, I think growing up, I would have never imagined or dreamed myself in this position. But obviously, as you said, it's been a long journey for me. Some guys get it very quickly in their careers, and some guys get it later in their careers. But yeah, I'm really honored and really privileged. I know my parents are proud. I know my family's supporters are very proud of me, and I've been getting a lot of messages. And yeah, concerning Sia, he did send me a message, encouraging me, obviously, and obviously congratulating me. But yeah, I mean, outside of Sia, there are other leaders here in this team. We've got guys like Lucanio Arm in the back line. Jesse Creel's always been here for years. I mean, the forwards pack, not just myself. I've got guys, even though he's not playing, I've got a guy like Steven Kitsoff. Who's always been in my ear in this week, give me some advice. As Coach said, we've got a massive leadership group. And I mean, everyone has a role to play in this team. Me being a captain, just me making sure that we've got the ref on our side, and obviously having a clear line of communication, keeping it very respectable. And yeah, all the other leaders. I mean, Marvin Ori is one of our leaders in the lineouts when it comes to attack. And we've got JK, who's obviously working hard on him being a leadership also when it comes to defense. So I mean, there's a lot of leaders in the group. But when it comes to just one-on-one with the ref, it obviously comes down to me and making sure that the team is ready to go when it comes to game time.
Percy?
Thank you again, Zina. Bongi, can I ask you, obviously Michael Cheika and his team, they've got their pride at stake. They're playing in front of their home crowd. Do you guys expect a proper backlash from Argentina come tomorrow? And Coach, can I ask you, the fact that the fullback have been banned for 2 weeks, does that weaken this Argentinian side that you guys will possibly face tomorrow, though?
Yeah, listen, playing Argentina at their home ground, in front of their home crowd, there's definitely going to be passion from their side, a lot of energy. I mean, it's Creevy's 100th game. He's on the bench, but they're obviously going to be trying to obviously make it special for him. And obviously, we know Montoya is a great leader. He's a great leader. They take a lot of energy from him. Yeah, listen, it's going to be tough. It's never easy playing here. And we know that the coaching staff will get them up for the game.
Yeah, regarding the fullback being suspended, I think from my side, I wouldn't put it that way, that it's going to weaken up their team, you know, because of, if you look around the team they've selected, they've also getting an experience of Bofeli back into the team. Even the guy also who's playing the fullback, Martin Koda, I forgot his name. He's got a Super Rugby experience playing for Otago Islanders. And then also look at the guys around them, you know, if you look at a guy like Sinti at 13, who's been playing very well, now he's on form. And we saw what happened in the first game when they played against us. He was one of the busy guys on the field. So I wouldn't say that will waking up their squad, and once again, when it comes to Argentina, we always know that they're very, very passionate about representing their country, but also us as a team, we don't just talk the talk about how proud we are to represent our country. We know the weight that we're carrying, representing our country. So it's going to be a massive game. Playing Argentina in Buenos Aires in front of their home crowd, you know how crazy they can be. They're very, very hostile crowd, and they will be loud the whole 80 minutes, So it's going to be a tough game. I wouldn't say now Cruz Malia being suspended to really make them less dangerous. They're still going to be a strong team. They're still going to be passionate, most especially also Bongi mentioned that Krivi is playing his 100th game. I remember him very well. I think it was since 2005. He was one of the most top players in the Junior World Cup when we played in Mendoza, and to see him now going all the way to be the first Argentinian player to play 100 test matches. It's a massive, massive achievement for him, and congratulations to Krivi and to him and his family. I know it's someone who's really for years represented his country with the pride, and yeah, congratulations to him. It's massive for him to be the first Argentinian player to represent 400 test matches. So congrats, and yeah, but we'll see him on Saturday.
Heinz?
Bongi, just on this week, it's sort of like it's similar to my question to Coach Stokke. It's like you obviously, like you mentioned, you have just a couple of tweaks, in terms of your on-field responsibility, but just in terms of your future career, do you believe that the honor of captaining your side in a test is going to make you a better rugby leader overall, in future?
Yeah, 100%. I think it does do that to a player. Captaining your country is definitely a massive honor. And yeah, myself captaining the Springboks, we know how passionate our fans are, supporters are about rugby, especially about the Springboks. So yeah, it does definitely play a role in one's career. And yeah, for me, I'm just excited about the weekend and looking forward to the game. I'm not thinking any further than that.
Stephen?
Thanks, Z. Coach, there's a momentum is obviously a big talking point before a World Cup. We look at a team like New Zealand, they've very much got it. Is it important for the Springboks to get some momentum? Because there's also this perception, or it's probably true of the Springboks, that they're at their most dangerous when they're written off. Almost like love being unloved, because that brings the best out of you guys. But or is it does it kind of play in your hands if you haven't got momentum, or would you like some momentum going into the World Cup?
Yeah, Mr. Nell, I think the history tells us you don't win the World Cup a year before. You win the World Cup actually when you play in the World Cup. To the results you're gonna get then. So I understand at the moment maybe we've been inconsistent when it comes to results, but once again, if you look at the way the All Blacks are going, I think they're in a good space at the moment with the momentum, so which is good for them. But I think the key thing for us is to focus on how we want to play the game and what is this that we want to achieve in all the games that we've been playing lately. And you can see we're rotating around our squad, We keep on giving guys opportunities, So I don't think we are probably anywhere close to the final product of what we want to achieve in the World Cup. But I know one thing for sure: we are in the right track. I don't think this year, if you look at all the games we've played, I don't think we have played the same 23 players week in, week out. So there's certain questions and answers that we're looking for there. So. But once again, having a status of being underdogs, I don't think that's how we see ourselves, But I know one thing for sure: in the past, that mindset has worked for us. But I don't think this time, as a defending champions of the World Cup, I don't think you go there as an underdog, So hopefully, by the time we get to the World Cup, because of now we've got 3 games left now before the World Cup. So hopefully, by the time we play against the All Blacks at Twickenham, we'll probably be close to where we want to be as a team, and how we want to perform.
Ross?
Thanks. Coach Rock mentioned recently that you know, on top of the main 33-man group that's going to be named next Tuesday, you guys will have 5 players in the backup sort of group that's going to also travel along in case of injury and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that a few of the players in the squad, you know, playing this weekend already know that, you know, in terms of their position, you know, with how stacked it is, they most likely won't make that 33-man group. But do you think having that extra 5-man backup group adds a bit something extra for some of the guys and gives them some hope that if they put in a big effort, you know, they might be going along there and they might sneak in if there's an injury in the World Cup?
Yeah, Ross, I think let's go to reality. The history tells us sometimes you're gonna get injuries. If you look back in 2019, if you remember, a guy like Trevor Nyakane and Jesse Krill got injured also just before the World Cup, you know, and but they were part of our team, you know. So I think now we're also trying to be proactive in the sense of having those guys that have been with us for the 5 guys you're talking about. Probably they've been with us the whole season. Some of them have been with us for the past 4 years. But once again, I think the history tells us chances are there will be injuries, you know. And I know one thing for sure, even those guys maybe who won't make the squad of 33, I think the way they've been working in our squad, you know, I think everyone deserves to get an opportunity there in that squad. But unfortunately, we can't take everyone. We have to select a squad of 33 players. But I think for us to have a backup where we've got 5 players that are always on standby for us, I think it will help us once again go back to 2011. The All Blacks have won the World Cup with their 4th choice flyer. You know, that tells you that unfortunately, as part of the game, injuries will always be there. You know, so I'm not wishing anyone any bad luck for them to get injuries, but I think it's part of the game. So if it does happen, I think we'll be well prepared to have players that are on standby that are good enough also to represent our country.
Ati?
Thanks, Zina. Can I ask you the next, Zina?
For sure.
Okay. My first question is for Bongi. Bongi, for also lebeletse man only captain so o ikutlwa bjang ka taba and le ba go lapeng mo o tlang teng ba ikutlwa bjang ba o bona gore o le mo leng teng today?
Ati ke utlwa ke thabile haholo for captain wa Springboks and ke a tseba hore ha e go lapeng le bona ba thabile ne ke thola melaetsa ho tswa mo wa ka le ntate wa ka le family tsa ka tse ding ne fetsa ka mokgwa ba thabile ka teng ba tseba hore ke a kgona ho etsa mosebetsi o nkemetseng for weekend enana and ba thabile kaofela and ha ba kgone ema hore game e fihle ba kgona ho bona hore re dlala jwang.
How shebile ke eng ntho e di-coach ba e boneng mo wena or no o ka nna moetapele for game e tlang ya Saturday and ke eng ntho e le nyakang o e bona so babapadi o e kry-a for game ka tsa Saturday?
Ya ke nahana ntho di-coach tse di boneng ho nna hore gale ke nako telele mona mo Springboks ho tloha 2018 se sebetsa re le group kaofela and so ba ntse ba re ke kgona leader mo forwardsing ha le scrum time ke kgona bua le refo hantle ha le scrum time and nako ya bang captain wa Springbok ke kgetho ba entseng hantle ke kgetho ne sa le rushed ba tseba hore na ke kgona o laela lo bua le papadi ke kgone ba inspire gore ba kgone ho dlala and rona re ready re ntse sebetse kaofela hara beke re ready ho dlala game title.
That's it.
Coach man uthi qaba nje bana ibaluleke kangakanani lento lokuba uBongi abe ngu-captain kule weekend for especially for ukukhula kombhoxo abantu bamnyama ibaluleke kangakanani lonto leyo?
Ibaluleke kakhulu athi tata more especially xa ujonga ba indlela uBongi history yakhe kwi-Springboks apha suka khona uzukhumbule kaloku nangoku wayeqala urepresent i-Springboks kwakunzima for bafumane i-opportunity kuba kwakho abadlali babe phambi kwakhe ngelaa xesha but into endayithandayo nguBongi zange anikezele ancame iphupha lakhe wathi make sure uba uyasebenza kakhulu, athi make sure xa i-opportunity yakhe ifika naye abe eredi. Uyambona ke ngoku kule ndawo akuyo naye to be able uba adlale even imidlalo le seyidlalele kwi-Springboks, kubonakalisa noko uba ngumntu osebenze kakuhle osebenze kanzima kakhulu, because zange la mathuba awafumanayo abe easy ekuqaleni, uyabona. And then okwesibini kule leadership yakhe, I think uBongi indlela aziphatha ngayo apha eqeleni lethu, uyabona, kwa since 2018 kudala waba kula leadership group yethu, uyabona. So nendlela acommunicate ngayo ne-respect ayifumanayo kwabadlali aba balapha kule team nakuthi abaqeqeshi. So iyenze loo nto uba mayibe lula thina singabaqeqeshi sikwazi umnika eli thuba akwazi ukukhokhela. Kudala isiza, bekudala sithetha ngazo izinto, xa i-opportunity izawuvela sizokwazi umnika yona. Uzokhumbule kaloku uba baninzi abafana noko abane-experience abakule timini, uyabona. Xa sowujonga ii-leaders esinazo esizisebenzisile kulo nyaka, konzakala umkhokheli wethu uSiya Kolisi, then kukho abafana abanjengoDwayne okudala nabo bakula leadership group, no-Eben, noLukhanya. So uBongi ke yena indlela aziphatha ngayo etimini and ne-respect ayifumanayo kii-players zethu, so iyenze loo nto uba mayibe easy ukuthi, and sinqwenelela nempumelelo, hopefully yonke izinto zihamba kakuhle Saturday, sikwazi umdlalela kakuhle.
Nabulela, Coachman. Thank you, Bongi.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. If